outside to see if I see residents who come to the car, police cars, like as they're pulling them out.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're in Houma, Louisiana, and the Hurricane Eye is just off probably about 40 miles to our southwest here. We are right in this area right now, right here, Houma, this area right here, just to the northwest of the hurricane. Hurricane is just southwest of Grand Isle now, and it's tracking up to the northwest. Stop the loop here. Winds are still in this corridor of extremely destructive winds. 130, gust to 180 miles an hour. And right now we've got hurricane force winds coming in now on the west-northwest side. These are designed to peel open in the middle so it keeps the sign from coming down. And we're getting real close to just about to start having damaging winds coming in now. The bands are getting close enough and far enough to the west that we're going to have damaging winds. Weather Service just a few minutes ago issued a high wind warning. Winds excess of 75, gusting to 120 miles an hour are coming inbound now. And as you see, this is a kind of a storage area that we're going to have. The clouds above us are pointing kind of to the west, northwest. The winds are coming out of the northeast, and they're racing southwest at probably nearly 80 to 100 miles an hour over my head. And that's at about 2,000, 3,000 feet above the ground. And back to our southwest here, we're going to have extreme damaging winds, storm surge coming up. We'll look at the outer bands here, and it's it's taking its time. It's starting to make the turn where it's slowing down as it approaches the southeast coast here, and it's just slowly. It looks like after the last couple of frames. Here's one of the things I like to do is when. So what I'll do is I'll draw a little circle where it was, and so if you just look at this right here, we'll just stop it. With this is kind of tells us when to do that. We back it up, and sorry about that. Let's do this. Let's draw this up, and now let's loop it. And so it's back here. So we'll just watch this and see what it does here. So it's still making that kind of that northwest jog. It's back in here, and just kind of see how they overlay. So it's still got that probably that 300, maybe 310 direction. Looks like it's going to go just very close or just barely southwest of Grand Isle. They have major damage, major flooding. I understand there's catastrophic flooding and catastrophic damage at Grand Isle. The lightning, another thing we got to watch here is the lightning is increasing again. So when you have the lightning increasing here, we've had very intense convection. So what happens is that as we get these really high winds, it's starting to come north. It's probably going to take off, go off just to my east here. But anyway, as it comes north, you got these intense bands. We'll look at the winds here, and if you'll see the winds there, look at that. 150, 155, 160. There's these winds are, the 155 range, 160. And then the western eye wall is normally not as strong, 125 to 115, 125. So if you add it all up, and if you look at the total width, so if you go from the western eye wall, obviously extend west in this is the really damaging winds. About 35 to 40 miles wide is going to be the really destructive winds, okay? So we've got the winds, we're on what we call if you look at the winds here, this is kind of what we call the zero line. And the zero line tells us right here, everything to the right of this, it's winds doing this. It's onshore winds out of the east, and then of course northeast wild they'll be like this, and everything on this line is coming back down this way. This is where the winds switch. So as we crossed this a little bit earlier, we were driving down, we had a ripping southeast wind. We crossed it, we immediately went to damaging northeast winds, and that was back up in this area as we came back down from southwest. And then obviously on the southwest edge, the winds are like this, okay? So as this comes up, you're going to have about a 30-mile wide area, roughly, of extreme damage. And again, a lot of this is going to depend on, it's a high Cat 4, almost a Cat 5 right in this area right now. And as it tracks to the northwest, we're going to have catastrophic damage and Grand Isle. There's also, if we switch over to the terminal Doppler, which is the airport radar. This is going to be the airport radar at the airport there in New Orleans. This is a higher res, but not as far a range out, and it's also updates every 60 seconds. So I have like up to the second information. So what I like about this is if you look at this, there's a big area of hurricane force winds coming into the southeast side of New Orleans at this time, about 70 to 75 miles an hour. As we go south, you get Hopedale, and you get down south here, you got 85. And we get down here at Portland, we got 85, 95, 100, and then of course you got some RF because it can't figure out what the winds are there. But you've got 100 plus mile an hour winds now coming in southeast New Orleans. So you've got damaging winds coming into this city of New Orleans from the southeast, and they're going to be anywhere from 75, and then again as you get down in this general area, you've got the 80 plus mile an hour winds coming northwest, and this whole band, these damaging winds are going to rotate up into the New Orleans area. And then on the same side, on the back side, you go back over here, and we've got, again, 50 mile an hour winds outbound, and then you get down here over Houma. See, I've got 70, 73, 75. That's about what I'm experiencing here. We get these, you have the heavy bands of precip, and as the rain falls through those higher winds and that higher information, then it brings those higher winds down. So if you got convection and it's raining really hard, for example, see this band coming in right now, it's not really heavy, but as this band comes over and it rains through the atmosphere, it brings those 120, 140 mile an hour winds down. Now what's going to happen is as this eye comes north, and you see this intense band here. This is the eye wall. We got an outer eye wall, almost a double eye wall structure now. So you're going to have probably winds of I'm going to go with 100 to 120 mile an hour winds, or in this band right here. This band right here. This first outer band is 100 to 120. That's over Grand Isle. It's coming in just to my southeast now, approaching Galeno, Golden Meadows. This is 100 to 120 mile an hour winds. Then as you get into the core winds, this area is going to be anywhere from 130, 140, gusts to 180, 175 in this area right here, and especially this area right in here where you get these really intense bands on this northeast, east, and southeast and southwest eye wall here. This is going to bring down the 130 to 180. Okay, this is going to be extremely destructive. So depends on how the next 4 or 5 hours as this thing lifts northwestward and how these bands exactly get structured, because the hurricane will weaken slowly as it comes north, and depending on where these eye bands set up, these bands, that's where your most damage is going to be, right? So that's what we're watching. That's what we're looking for as it comes up northwest here. We're keeping our eye on that. And I can tell you that just to give you a quick update here in Houma, there's massive law enforcement. I can tell you, I'm assuming there's going to be hundreds, is probably an understatement, of how much law enforcement's in the area. They're everywhere, okay? They're everywhere. There's just continuous law enforcement. I've seen a number of law enforcement going south with lights on. I don't know what's happening. I know the storm surge is coming up from south. I don't know if there's any people in trouble south of me here, not too far, but lots of law enforcement's coming south. They may be getting called off the street because the winds are getting up to, like I said, 70, 75. For a little window down here, you can see the trees are continuously, 50, and that's blowing pretty hard. And I would imagine as the winds start getting closer to that 80 to 100, which probably will be about another hour, right? It'll take about another hour for these really damaging winds to get up here, and or an hour to 2 hours, because lengthwise we're about 25 miles moving northwest, roughly 12 to 15, an hour and a half. It's about 11 o'clock, so let's call it 12:30 to 1. I'll start having damaging winds for sure about 1 o'clock Central Time. Have damaging winds coming into Houma. Chavins has already got storm surge down there. La Rose, just to my east here, the damaging wind line will come up here by 1 o'clock shortly after lunch. We'll have damaging winds, excessive 100 mile an hour winds will come up in this area by 1 o'clock. So as this gets northeast, as it comes north here, northwest, as it comes in, then the damage is going to rapidly increase in this area, okay, as this eye wall comes up. Obviously, damaging wind at Burris right now, Port Sulphur, this whole area's got damaging winds now. 75 to 100 mile an hour winds are cover a large area now, just south of New Orleans. It comes down like this. This is all damaging winds, very destructive damaging winds are coming ashore right now, okay? That's kind of the update right now. Last time I looked on the hurricane plot, I think it was down to 932, 934, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, that's an area that's very low pressure, right? So anyway, this is what will happen. So I'm just gonna hang out here. We're watching things here, and we're gonna deploy to a different area once the eye gets closer. We don't want to be on the streets, right? And there will be tons of flying debris with this one, a lot more than normal, right? Just because that's what's going to happen, because it's going to be it's a bad hurricane. So when you have big bad hurricanes, you get a lot of big stuff happening, right? So I'm going to put this in the cradle here. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. You guys want to ride with me? Here we go. We're gonna start roaming around. Here we go, guys. You ready? So here we go. So we're in Houma, and we're just gonna kind of go real slow, and we'll check out things as we're just southeast of town. And what you're seeing there on my dashboard, which I don't like, that's a reflection of the heads-up display. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Don't like that flashing, but that's what we have. And let me see if I can get rid of that. Yeah, it's not synced. It doesn't like that. So I see that heads-up display. I don't like that at the bottom, but you know what? I'll tilt it up. How about that? I'll get rid of that flashing strobing light. So anyway, if you'll notice also, as I'm driving here, it's getting really dark skies, like a thunderstorm's coming, right? So look at the visibility. It's dropping. The visibility's dropping. Oh my gosh, we're probably down to half a mile and heavy rain and about 50 winds gusting, maybe hurricane force, 70 mile an hour gusts now. And so as a higher winds and as the low pressure comes in, the real low pressure, it saturates the air. So as a hurricane approaches, you get almost what we call a hurricane fog. The visibility drops, the air is saturated, and because of that, you get the visibility will drop. And as this eye approaches, it's going to be like a fog bank. The winds will be 130, 140. You don't think of fog or rain and mist, but it'll be like the visibility at times will be probably less than a half a block. It will be at zero visibility at times as we have as this eye comes up toward us. And I just got a report. Let me see what this is. This is a brand new report just came in. Let me see what we've got here. Give me just a second here. Interesting. Let me see what I just got a report out of Grand Isle. Okay, 1048. Reports from Grand Isle are winds are way over 100 miles an hour at Grand Isle. Well, we know that by the Doppler. I would probably say they're probably closer to 130 to 150 at Grand Isle based on radar, right? So the report comes in from Grand Isle just now. Winds are way over 100. Grand Isle is going to have extreme damaging winds. They're already been having it now for 3-4 hours, and extreme storm surge, which they've already had. And they do have structural failures as well as storm surge problems there already over the last 3 hours. And that's only going to get worse as the eye is immediately in the northeast quadrant now. So this area here is yeah, I know, babe. There's no way I can stop it. Kathy's wanting me to. I can't do anything about this drill, babe. It's heads up, and I think, yeah, yeah. Let me try something different here. Just got to bear with me here to pull over and do something. Kathy wants me to do something here. I know the strobing lights creates a problem. Let me see if I can flip this. Let me do this. I'm going to reposition this. Okay, the winds are picking up. Hang on, I'll put you down here a second. Give me a second here. Let's make this work. There we go. Okay, just got it up higher. Let's see it. Nope, still doing it. Gosh. There's just, yeah, I can't shut the, If anybody knows how to get rid of the heads-up display, if you can tell me how to get rid of the heads-up display on a Chevrolet Yukon, that would be perfect, right? Somebody tells me how to turn off the heads-up display. See, when you turn it down, see that little strobe? It's the strobing deal. It's a heads-up display on the counter here. Actually, I know a way to get rid of it, but you'll have a different thing. Let me do this. Oh, I know what I can do. Here we go. I know how to get rid of it. Here we go. I've got a little orange. There we go. How about that? It got rid of it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I got rid of it. Now you see orange, okay? And so it's fine. So that's it for right now. So I appreciate your support. That's awesome. So we'll see how this thing goes as the eye continues to make its way up here very slowly. Kathy says, no. Okay, I got an idea. Let's do this. Let's make it really small, okay? Let's do this. Just bear with me here, guys. How about that? Look at, nope, still didn't work. Okay, well, no, I didn't like that. Hang on, it's back here. Hang on. Oh, I see. It's doing that little projectile deal. I got it. Let me just put it right here against that. Yeah. Put something gray. Actually, that's true. Now, I could, yeah, I got you. Let's see here. Yep, gray would work. Match the dashboard, right? Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Improvise. We'll always look in the car, back seat. I'm thinking about these kind of things. I love all these suggestions. I wonder what's in the bag. I want to know what was in the bag before I pull it up here, right? But I want to know what's in the bag. You know what I've got to do, actually? It's probably a good time to take a miniature break here. Just a second. Okay, so I've got to do something. I think it's time to have some water. The controls on the right side of the wheel, on the right side. Okay. Yeah, see controls. Okay, let me see if that does anything. Huh. Oh, I see. That's audio. Nah. Nope. Looks great. Okay. She said, tell me to leave it alone. Okay. Let me fix this little thing. I'm good. All right, guys. So, let me take a little break here. I gotta get some water. Morphing in store mode. Oh, I'm past store mode. Yeah, keeping hydrated is very important. It makes you think clear, right? Okay. It's all good. You've been waiting for energy all morning. I have too. It's been pretty interesting morning. Well, the eye's moving northwest. It's getting closer. And again, guys, this is a slow process. The really crazy bands now are just, as a crow flies, they're 20 miles southeast of me, coming toward me. And we're probably going to reposition here soon. No, I'm not going to the beach. How far? All the way down. Okay, turn it all the way, heads up display. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah. Turn that down. Oh, there we go. Off, yeah, you got it. Oh, there we go. I think I found it. Let me see here. It's still there. It's gone. Awesome. Thank you for the help. Look at that. I've got it all the way down. Let me make sure I hit this right button. Let me see it. There's that button. Yeah, there it comes back. Look at that. See, it comes back, and then it can go real bright, and then I'm going to turn it way back down again. Watch this. It's going to disappear. Boom, boom. Goodbye. How about that? It's gone. Okay. So I've got yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks to Tracers. Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, appreciate that. So just wait and see what we've got here coming in, and we'll watch the storm as it approaches. We're about an hour and a half probably out before things get really crazy, right? 3 bands right now. Yes. Yeah, the bands are gonna. Yeah, the third band coming in is the knockout punch. I promise you that. It's the bad one. Yes, it is the tough one coming up. So how is everybody doing today on this Sunday morning? Put a black towel over. Well, I don't have to put nothing over it. I've got it solved now from all the YouTube people said, hey, hit the button. Hadn't been in this vehicle before, but I knew the buttons now. I'll see them now. Yep. I see all the buttons. Heat advisory in Illinois, yes. I appreciate your support. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, pretty cozy, yes. I picked up some red seedless grapes yesterday. You guys want to see those? They're pretty decent. I've had some last night, just afternoon. Yeah, Reed saw some of the guys out earlier putting surge deals out. Surge sensors back early this morning. There we go. Let's see, where's the camera? There we go. Some red, yeah, seedless grapes. Yeah, those are pretty good. Not bad. I've actually got some peaches in here too. Peaches are really good. I had one of those yesterday as well. Yeah, the peaches are really nice. Fresh fruit's always good, right? Okay, we're about about an hour. I think the hurricane's going to go just east of me, based on the current hurricane track, right? It's going to go just east of me. Houma may be in the western eye wall. It's making a jog to the northwest. Okay, winds are getting more, they're going to get worse here. Okay, stand by. Hang on, hang on, move the phone, hang on. There we go. My winds are still of the northwest. And northeast, I've got rain. Look at the sheets of rain coming in. Wow. So those guys are going south, right? I'm not for sure. You know what, guys? I'm wondering. Not saying they are not. That's interesting. I think we have, yeah, we got convoys. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I think they're leaving now. Everybody's leaving. The big winds are coming in, are approaching, right? Okay, here comes the whole armada. Look at this, guys. Look at this. You don't see this every day. Look at this. So here comes the whole armada. I think an entire strike team. It looks like the sheriff's department. The entire strike team is now going. They're going to town. They're going to take shelter. So they've got an armada of sheriffs, and they're all heading back, and deputies heading back into shelter because the 75 to 100 mile an hour winds are coming inbound. Okay, so they blocked the road. It looks like we've got a mass accident here on the southeast side of town. Now they're heading back into town, and we are Terrebonne County here, and they are now going into shelter, right? They're pulling everybody off the road. Winds are over 50, and gusting to 70, and so we're going to have 100 mile an hour winds up here in about another hour, maybe shorter. The thing seems to be moving. It seems to be moving a little bit faster now. So it's 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, and this thing is it's continuing to move fairly quickly up here. Now let's see look at that. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm telling you, all this area back over here is extreme marshy flood plain. You got all these, inlets and channels, and they all got to come out of their banks and flood widthwise. This is all extremely marshy, all south of here, right? It's big marshy. So as this eye comes up, we really need, once it gets up here, there's really no safe way to cut across here right on the roads because you're going to go underwater. They're already underwater. And the other problem, which is a big problem, it's a big problem everywhere in the United States, okay, is on all these roads. Earlier we were from Lockport, and we were driving down this 2-lane road, right, like this. There were trees and telephone poles next to the road, and they were literally breaking in front of us and coming across the road. And I just barely missed that. It happened about an hour ago, hour and a half. So all this road right here. So if you come down here to film, you got to think about it. So if you're down here filming, it's like, oh, great, no flood water. Well, that's fine. But the problem is you got about 30 miles here, because when this eye comes up, every telephone pole, that's, all these roads where all these poles are at, and they're lined up, and these are 30 mile long, and all these 140 and 180 mile an hour winds are coming in like this. All those poles are going to come down. You're going to have 30 and 40 mile roads of totally impassable with massive debris, not only from storm surge, roof, trailers, sheet metal, telephone poles are going to break, and all these roads are going to become impassable. As this eye comes up, most of these roads are going to be impassable in this entire area of southeast Louisiana, right? That's what's going to happen over a huge area. So you got to be cognizant of not getting trapped. So anyway, we got that in the back of your mind, right? So you always got to be aware of that situation, because it's you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens here. So they pulled everybody. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much. See if I can get anything on Twitter to come up and tell us anything here. I'm getting more hurricane information. Wow. Just looking for reports coming in. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, water level is starting to spike at Grand Isle, and it doesn't tell me that. Oh, okay, it's 5 feet, and it said maybe another foot there at Grand Isle. 5 foot to 6 foot storm surge at Grand Isle. Okay. Winds are gusting over 150. Have been winds gusting up to 150 miles have been reported at Grand Isle in the last hour with rapidly rising water, and the surge is running over the island. Is what they're reporting. Okay, let me see where this is at. Cannot verify. Okay, I've got an image here that's pretty frightening. I cannot tell you. I cannot validate this image if it's legit. It looks like it's a live stream from Grand Isle, and if it is, it's crazy. It's got about 5-6 foot of water surging between houses and the telephone poles. It looks like the entire ocean is running through Grand Isle right now. It's extremely deep, and the camera's pointing down toward the water. It looks like a security cam, and that's what it looks like. Yes. So Grand Isle is not only has the massive storm surge, they're getting winds up to 150 miles an hour at Grand Isle. And we talked about that earlier today. 140, yes, winds over 140, massive storm surge hitting Grand Isle. These reports are flooding. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got another video. I don't know who's there shooting this. It does look like Grand Isle. Let me show you guys this. No, I can't do that. I can't do that because it's somebody else's video. It says PM breaking news. Quickly turn Grand Isle video from John. Oh, John Humphreys. Yeah, John Humphreys is in Grand Isle. He's a chaser. So I know John, and it's extreme. I can tell you it's extreme. I've got there's porches and cars floating by in his live video, and it's the winds are looks like they're out of the east at over 100 and 130. I see roofs off of buildings and houses. Trees are like bending to the ground, and the water looks like it's about 3 to 4 foot deep, and it's like there's tidal waves. There's huge waves on the storm surge going through the city of Grand Isle right now on the live stream. That's pretty bad. Okay, so that continues to get worse. Here's another picture from Grand Isle from a different person. It's extreme in Grand Isle, which we expect, right? Yeah, we got almost a Category 5 hurricane, Category 4, just high-end 4, just going through that area. Tornado watch is also in effect for the area. We'll have some tornadoes throughout the day and tonight, this afternoon, as the storm continues to track to the northeast, or northwest, then north, then northeast. So we're going to continue to watch this, and we'll see as things change, and they will change as the day goes on, right? It's not too bad right now, right here, but obviously south of in Grand Isle, as a crow flies, is not. It's not very far from me right here. I mean, considering what's going on down there, it's roughly 45 miles to my southeast. Okay, and look here. I'm about ready to reposition. I think the hurricane is coming northwest. Yes, that's coming northwest. Okay. So I'll show radar one last time before I disconnect. Okay. So here's the radar, and there is my position at Houma, and then obviously this is the area that's getting hammered. This is Grand Isle. The hurricane is continuing to lift to the northwest. Looks like it's going to track something similar. I'm a bit close there, not perfect. Okay, and then it gets kind of up in this area, something like that. Yeah, Grand Isle's getting hammered. That's the track. So Grand Isle's next, and then you've got Golden Meadow, excuse me. And then we've got Colino, and then Cut Off, and La Rosa. This area is going to be in the ice, comes north. So Yeah, what's the wind? Yeah, the wind's up there. It's cranking. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, yeah, 140, 145. That northeast eye wall. It looks right. Yeah, about 130, 150, 130 on the western eye wall, and a little bit higher, 130, 140. You're always going to have a little bit higher winds on the northeast quadrant, right? So that's what's happening. All right, so I'm gonna let the stream go down for right now, and we'll appreciate everybody watching, tuning in, and I will bring it back up again. Thank you to everybody. Right, please subscribe to Tornado or Twister Chasers on YouTube, Twister Chasers on YouTube, and we will. Oh, how about them apples? Wow, there you go. Give me just a second. That was a nice little fall. I'm fine, but the camera's fine. Just fell off the little support. Yeah, I saw that. I was on Drudge Report. Right. We talk about what's going to happen in the core winds and the core tornado, the main damage area, and that's happening now. It's going to come north, so we'll see how this unfolds. So thank you for tuning in this afternoon. We'll bring it back up as things deteriorate in about an hour from now, roughly. About an hour from now, hour and a half, things will start getting much more intense, okay? So as that happens, we'll bring the stream back up and we'll get you started and let you guys see what happens out here in the field. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all the support, and thank you so much for your support this afternoon. Thank you so much.